Classic. There it is. Hello, everyone. So sorry about that. John Boy, to answer your question on the quick timer. So who would have guessed it, having technical difficulties right before stream, and I had it set to a 15-minute countdown timer, and it just kept running, and then when I started it live, it went all the way down to like 4 minutes. So I wanted to start, you know, a little bit after 1:30, so I didn't want to have to restart it because I do have a pretty tight cutoff today. But welcome everyone who's in here so far. Thank you guys all so much for watching. As far as it goes, if you don't already know, I'm Eli with Pokémon USA. So for today's stream, we typically do Q&A sessions on everything related to Pokemon. Specifically, if you look at the title of the video, it is correlated to last video, so I don't typically get to answer all the questions through the comment section, so this is your opportunity to ask just any question, whether it be about last video or just today's video. So, but without further ado, let's give a couple shout outs to everyone here. Tyrone Smith, SoundQuest, what's up? Of course, John Boy, Eddie, John Doe, how we doing? Travis, Derek M, James A. Yo, I just wanted to say as well, by the way, that obviously I'm stoked to have Derek M here, but where's other Derek? I haven't seen him in a while too. My Peaky Blinders boy. It's been forever since I've seen him, so. But man, I missed the Evolving Skies bundle last night. I was crushed. It hit Twitter when I was asleep. Evolving Skies bundle, where was it? Who was selling it? I'm curious. John Doe says Lost Origins look nice. Correct. It doesn't look too shabby. Confirmed shiny alt art? Not yet, good sir, but as far as I know, unless there is news that has leaked from Poke Beach that we don't know about maybe yet. Is that true? So I wouldn't be surprised if they go in that direction. Honestly, it just seems like the right direction for them to go with it. Let's see. We got Virizion V-Box in October, Deoxys and Zeraora V, VMAX, V-Star releasing in 3 upcoming products. Oh, okay, interesting. But no shinies yet. Derek Robb must be lurking somewhere. Yes, Derek Robb. Thank you, John. Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while, man. It was $205 for both the booster box and the ETBs. Yo, who listed that, James? That is incredibly well priced. Interesting they took both a V-Star and a VMAX approach. Crazy. That is incredible, dude. Did you get your numbers for the Halloween packs? Well, I thought it was going to only be a Pokemon Center thing, because I have not gotten my numbers for it yet. So, however, one thing I will tell you guys, for those of you that are here right now, if you didn't already know, the mystery packs are live on the site, and then outside of that as well, I do have my break packs for Lost Origins are live, so if you want to pick those up for opening week, break packs are live. I highly recommend that if you're gonna buy product from me, I would do it within basically within the next 20 to like 25 days, because when I move to Arizona, I will begin charging sales tax, so you will not have to pay for sales tax. So if you're gonna try and buy some product from me, I would do it sooner than later. And then I also did upload some more of the booster boxes available for Lost Origin. I am sold out of the ETBs, so I just uploaded the second half of what I had available for the booster boxes. And then I am trying to relatively soon here I'm going to upload the pre-release kits so I have a Vivid Voltage pre-release kit. I have some build and battles for Darkness Ablaze. As you guys are aware, Cosmic Eclipse build and battles. I'm going to try and get those listed up as well for those people that are interested in. You know, I'll probably upload it for like $6.49, and then if you want to like private sale, then I can do it for $5.99. So, or if you buy a ton of them, if you buy all of them, then I can probably drop the price even more. So, but they are a case, so they're pretty expensive considering how rare they are. But just saw PTCG's new video showing released Lost Origins cards. Looks like a stacked set. Well, are they new Lost Origin cards? Because as far as it goes, everything that we know of outside of the character rares should be should be known. But let me take a look. PTCG radio. Let's see what you're referencing. All secret rare trainer galleries revealed. Gotcha. So the trainer galleries revealed is basically what you're saying. Here, we'll turn the volume off on this, and then we can take a look. All secret rare trainer gallery cards from Lost Origins revealed early. So all. Maybe we do want some audio on this. Here, I'm going to turn off the chill Pokemon music in the background for a second. And then I'm going to turn up PTCG, and then we'll take a look at it. So let's pause that for a second and turn his stuff up. Blah, 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 blah. Right, so we know there's going to be a Charizard. We already knew about the Pikachu. We already knew about the Gengar. We already knew about the Snorlax.
I think it is an absolutely phenomenal card. There are very, very few of these. I picked up super rares. I top off because it said 10 scores. Remember the Pikachu VMAX is the one that they used when VMAX Climax was initially revealed over in Japan. This was the card they used to kind of show off character super rares and sell the set. That's how good it is. Absolutely been. And you look at the it's just the trio of Charizard,
Yeah, looks good, guys. Looks good, to say the least. I think that we've got some good cards ahead of ourselves. Honestly, I'm definitely pretty excited that, and like I had said in yesterday's video, like I talked about it with Nostalgianomics, you know, not surprised they went the Pikachu route. I just didn't want to officially, you know, fully determine. I gave you guys basically what my thoughts were. I said if it didn't have the Pikachu, which I said I'd be shocked if it didn't, it was more than likely going to be one of those middle-of-the-road sets. And said if it did have the Pikachu, however, it's going to probably be right up there with, I would say, below Brilliant Stars. There's an argument to be made, honestly, above Brilliant Stars. Like, Lost Origin definitely looks like it's going to be a really good set. I mean, the only reason why you can really make an... Oh, God, I don't know, man. I think, in my personal opinion, I'm probably going to like Lost Origin more than Brilliant Star. But... it's a hard one because I'm a huge Eevee fan and it has those character rare Eevees that I love, but also at the same exact time I also love that they're going to be bringing the Pikachu because that's going to bring value to it, but also, you know, Brilliant Stars, Charizard. I guess, man, that's a hard one. I would say they're pretty neck and neck. Like, they're pretty up there for both sets being very similar. God, what would my criticisms be when comparing the two? Because if you're saying to yourself, let's just take a look at Brilliant Star right now, guys, right? And saying, what do we like and what do we not like when it comes to Brilliant Star that we can compare? Now, don't get me wrong. I wish more had alternate arts. But when you take the 4 alternate arts, you've got the Giratina, you've got the Aerodactyl, the Rotom, and the Galarian Berserker. So Charizard, of course, Charizard, great card. Arceus, of course, once again, great card. Love the artwork on the Luminion, and then, of course, the Honchkrow. So those are your 4. Good stuff, good stuff. You know, it's hard because Brilliant Star is more than likely going to be seen as the better set because of the Charizard, which, you know, Charizard value, but when you really make a comparison, it does have good gold cards. I do like that it has the gold trio. That's pretty cool. I will say that the V-Stars in this set are extremely weak outside of the, you know, main 2. Like, a Shaman V-Star is fine. It's not, like, crazy cool, but it is fine. And then Whimsicott, are you kidding me? But then also, if we go and we take a look at Galarian Berserker, really? You know, Rotom is fine. So, it's pretty one-to-one in that regards. You know... And then after that, it really is just going to have to come down to the character rares, you know, because it's cool. It's got Marnie's Pride and it's got Cynthia. So then it really just comes down to Trainer Gallery. So Trainer Gallery, it's got an Umbreon, Sylveon, hard to compete with that. Mimikyu, Gloria, and then the Evolution's awesome, which it had better black and gold cards, but you know. And then with the other, it's going to have obviously the Pikachu. It's not, of course, going to have... I mean, I guess the real question you got to ask yourself is Orbeetle, Pikachu, Centiskorch. Would you rather have those three, or would you rather have Umbreon, Sylveon, Mimikyu? For me, I would much rather have Umbreon, Sylveon, and Mimikyu. And so for that reason, I think it has a stronger trainer gallery if we're talking about the rares. Because you guys have to understand that still the commons, although it's going to be, you know, Charizard, Gengar, Snorlax, and Pikachu, they're going to have those in the commons. You're really going to take value more from the rares. And that's kind of my issue with it. Because although I love Flareon, Jolteon, Eevee, and so on and so forth, because I'm a huge Evolution fan, these are common cards. These are not the rares. So the value there is not going to be as great, but you know, that's just my personal opinion. It still has a great amount of diversity, but I think for that reason, I still would slightly put Brilliant Stars above Lost Origin. But the fact that we're having a conversation about Lost Origin because of the character rare, that's pretty good. However, we still have yet to have a conversation about dethroning Evolving Skies, which I'm waiting to have that conversation. I would love to have that with the Lugia set, but who knows? Like I said, it's probably going to be a dragon theme set based off of what I was talking about in yesterday's video, but I am so far behind. Are you buying new furniture or moving the stuff you have now? So Tyrone, I don't really have any furniture to begin with. I have my desk and I have my bed and my desktop, laptop, and then any sort of product I have to take with me. I'm really trying my best to sell everything as best I can, but I have like 12,000 cards listed on TCG Player, and I'm packaging up 100 100 packages every day of TCG Player stuff. So that's really frustrating because I really want to take the time to list things, and so I might honestly have to hire someone to list product for me or just package up the TCG Player orders while I go through and list everything. So because I have so much, and for me too, I would prefer that if I list it in bundles so I can try and sell it off as quickly as possible. So like I'll have like a Shining Fates bundle, for example, and it'll include like a Shining Fates tin, like a Crobat V box premium collection, like a Dragapult V premium collection, and like an ETB and then a Pikachu V, like something like that. And I can give you better deals that way because I'm bundling shipping. But you know, I'm gonna try my best, obviously. But yeah, no, I'm just gonna be buying new furniture when we get there because it's a lot cheaper anyway. Because I wouldn't have to spend more money on a moving truck, you know. With the best hit being the TG, I don't know how it's gonna hold up. Yeah, we'll see, man. I think it'll hold up well, honestly. Hey Eli, I want to ask if you're concerned yourself with regulating temperature, humidity, where you keep your collection long term, possibly for many years, or do you worry about that as much? So where I live, Chris, I don't have to worry about that, but I do agree that it is something of concern. Because long term, when you do talk about humidity, that is moisture in the air. That moisture then is in turn going to, of course, affect and warp the cards. That's why you see a lot of times there are cards that, even though they haven't been, of course, tampered with or messed with, they have a little bit of bend in them. That's because of moisture over time. So I would definitely say keeping it in a regulated temperature area where you're keeping the humidity out of the room is definitely preferred. That's why for myself specifically, if you are keeping your products in a storage area, I like to keep it, you know, sealed so that you can try your best to have the humidity, you know, not really seep into the boxes themselves. I know a lot of people are huge fans of doing like keeping them in sealed cases and then putting them in like a plastic like bucket that you can like airtight seal over, so that way you've got that like extra protection from the whole case getting the moisture on the package from the humidity within the air. But yeah, definitely something that I would say to worry about in humid areas. I want to sleep with the Pikachu card under my pillow, John Boy. That's funny. Jonathan Biggs, finally caught your live. Just got off my second job. Biggs is back. Hey everyone. So what's the word on the streets? See? Well, thank you so much for stopping by, Jonathan. Word on the streets, man, is we're just talking about some Lost Origins since the character rares. It looks like we know what the full character rare list is going to be and how it's going to add value to the set. That's for sure. Man, I will say it would be top 3 behind BS and ES, and I would say I would agree with that, James. Hello, just want to stop by and say hi. Well, thank you for stopping by. It's always UT Long. Always good to see you. As bad of a rap Astral Radiance gets, I don't think it's too far behind Brilliant Stars and Lost Origins. Yes, no, not at all. I said, DigiSmith, that I said that Astral Radiance was I think it was the 3rd best set. But that's the thing, man, is really, it's like, I feel like, so Evolving Skies is very strong first. It's far ahead. I would say Brilliant Stars a pretty strong second. But there's like such a big gap between 2nd and 3rd, I feel like. So basically you've got like, this is 1st, right? And this is 2nd. Like, I'm going off screen, right? This is 2nd. This is 3rd. So the gap from 1st to 2nd is massive, and then the gap from 2nd to 3rd is not that much massive. But the fact of the matter is, if you consider the fact of how big of a gap is from 1st to 2nd, there's no set at this current point that's even getting close to comparing to Evolving Skies, which is a little annoying. You know, at least the sets we keep getting are, you know, 2nd and 3rd place sets. They keep like one-upping each other, but we want them to one-up 1st place, not one-up 2nd place, because, you know, one-up 2nd place is, you know, it's not as appealing. It's the difference between bronze, gold, and silver, you know? What's up, Sam San? How we doing, brother? Hopefully all is well with you. Pikachu lovers like the numerous Pikachu cards, and no, 100%. I think, of course, there will definitely be value to it. Why is Evolving Skies MSRP at 140? Other sets only 100? Because MSRP, so Evolving Skies, so all booster boxes, MSRP is actually 144. So MSRP, what it means for is its suggested retail price. That's what it means. You're talking market value there, Mr. Login. And the reason why the market value for Evolving Skies is so much greater than other sets is because the demand for the set is so much greater, because it's the best set in the Sword and Shield era, bar none. Not even close. Brilliant Stars, more of a long-term hold for Charizard or for Chase? What do you mean necessarily? Are you saying, is it better to hold a Charizard versus Sealed? What do you mean by that, I guess? Hash Cashin, what's up, my guy? How we doing? How's preparing for the move? Dude, I had a mental breakdown yesterday because I realized that I have 3 weeks before we move, and I still have probably $50,000 worth of Pokemon product that I need. Honestly, if I'm being honest, I probably have around $65,000 to $70,000 worth of Pokemon product I need to sell, and I had like kind of a meltdown yesterday because I was just working all day, and basically it was wake up, record a video, and I had straight up 3 hours of technical difficulty issues recording the video, and then I had 5 different people try and call me all at once in regards to you know, I had a business call, I had my distributor call me, I had my realtor call me, I had my parents call me. I had so many different like people that were calling me yesterday, and I was just like, mother fricker, I'm about to have a meltdown because I'm trying to do so many things all at once, and I feel like I'm just drowning. And with the deadline coming up to try and sell all my product, especially too because my realtor is like, hey, if you had more money in your account, that'll help you when it comes to getting approved, because they know you're going to have the cash to pay for your rent, which, I mean, I inevitably will, of course, but selling, you know, that product sooner than later so that it can register in my account for when I move is going to be kind of a bigger deal. So I'm just like stressing out about that. So it's definitely been stressful, to say the least, because at this point it really just comes down to me selling all my product. And if you guys want to see behind what the floor looks like, that is over 200 over 200 TCG player orders that I've been trying to deal with for the past 2 days. So stressful, but you know, I'm trying to make it work. So if anyone wants to help and buy product from me and is interested in buying it off in bulk, please let me know. I'll give you a good deal on it. So the more you buy, the more of a discount I can give you, that's for sure. So the Lost Origin is coming out to look like a dragon set. Wait, what? The Lost Origin is coming out to look like a dragon set. But I'm stoked to the Pikachu artwork in the set. Plus, I think the black and gold cards are going to hold. But it's definitely not a dragon set, I would say, Jonathan. I think that whatever the Lugia set's going to be is going to be a dragon set. Because if you look at the actual cards within it, Aerodactyl is not a dragon type. Giratina is. Rotom is not. It's a ghost set. It is very much centered around ghost / psychic. Because Giratina's ghost. Rotom is ghost. You know, Mew is psychic, Gengar is ghost and poison. You know, so it's very much like an electric ghost psychic theme. So that's like kind of the 3 that they're really looking for. And then of course they have other cards in between. But like just looking at, you know, the secret rares just from Lost Abyss, obviously it's a little different. But you know, Rotom, Ghost Electric, so that's where they're trying to get that. Aerodactyl is definitely an interesting pick on why they did that. You know, Giratina, it's a Dragon Ghost type. I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird because this is what Lost Abyss is. I guess I'm going more off of Dark Phantasma, especially with a name like Dark Phantasma. So, it's kind of an all over the place set. But yeah, it's really focusing in on a lot of dark types, a lot of psychic, ghost, and yeah, that's kind of it. Just Pokemon that have typically those 3 typings. But yeah. I think, but you did say, I think the black and gold cards are going to hold more value than the previous sets did. Probably. I would be stunned if they didn't. Brilliant Stars is still my favorite set. I still haven't pulled the Altar cards from Brilliant Star. I have Old Man Jake I've opened over 1,200 packs of Brilliant Star. I've pulled 1 Altar. So, getting wrecked. What part of Arizona, Marky says? I'm trying to shoot for Gilbert or Chandler because it's cheaper than Scottsdale. But, those bundles sound kind of dope. I mean, hopefully. Got the sets confused, my bad. No, you're all good. I kind of had a feeling you got the sets confused. I had a feeling, dude. So don't worry about it. If I give you $100 to spend on singles, what would you get? On singles? On singles, Caps Lover. Ooh, that's an interesting one. Had to spend it on singles. Yikes. I don't know, man. I'm not in the mood right now for picking up singles. I think now is definitely not the best time since most singles are kind of tanking. Man, that's a tough one. Yeah, it's hard for me to pick up singles if you're... The only ones that I would say that I'm really trying to pick up right now at the moment are ones that I feel like I bottom out that are ultra modern. So if I had $100, I guess the first thing that comes to mind is the shiny VMAX Charizard from Shining Fates, because that's more than likely near, if not, it has hit its bottom. Oh God. Yeah, that's hard. That's a hard one for that reason. So other than that, $100, diversely speaking. Oh gosh, wow, that's a tough one, man. I think I'm just gonna say that's my answer, but leave it open as well because there's not really much I like right now that I would want to pick up, other than unless I'm trying to master set something like Shining Fates for dirt cheap. So, but yeah, it's tough. I guess you can make an argument for some of the like Hidden Fates shinies. I would definitely say that a lot of those. I mean, let's take a look at the price on it though. I think they're still in a downwards trajectory if I'm correct though, because I remember this being at $700. Yeah, look at that, bro. I mean, look at this. It looks like it did get a little bit of a pickup. How about this past month? Jesus loves me. That is that's a drop off. 6 month, I guess it's gained value, because apparently at one point it went down to 345. I don't know, but that's $100. How's the value on the Mewtwo? Where's the Mewtwo looking on the yearly? Yeah, I don't know, man. I would probably say, yeah, I would go with some of the shinies probably from Hidden Fates. That's where I would go with that. So, because a lot of them have begun to retrace a lot. I would go with the ones that look like Mewtwo's. which basically is, if you look at the long-term chart, it is, you know, it's not at its bottom, but it looks as if, you know, it's still been in a downtrend, because that way at least, you know, you're saying to yourself, you're not buying at its peak price or so on and so forth. You're getting it near the bottom. Same concept with the Espeon, because you're buying the Espeon at near the bottom. It's been going sideways for a while. So I would say look at, you know, shiny cards in that like kind of chart looking. Looks like that kind of chart. What's up, Too Much Tuna? How we doing? I'm not too shabby. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I'm tired. I'm stressed. So, but other than that, all is good. You know, just taking it day by day. Pokemon Center has ES Sleeves boosters live again, says Jason K. Shout out to Jason on that one. I wrap my ETBs and booster boxes in acid-free archival tissue paper and use acid-free tape. Then I put them in a plastic box size for them as reusable. Dang, Babe Cakes goes crazy on it, dude. I keep my ETB stored in an AC room in a Target food store. Each container goes on sale for $7 all the time. There you go. I think that's a good way of going about it, James, as well. I think Evolving Skies was too much of a throw the kitchen sink, but I think it was just the Japanese release schedule that made it stacked. That can totally make sense, because I like EV Heroes as a set as well. It's a really good smaller set that has a good amount of pulls in it. Hey, I received my mystery pack package, except there's not one pack. I don't understand. It's one card, Fan of Waves, and a red bag with singles in it. So Elvis, if you read the description of what the Wave 1 mystery pack was, is for Wave 1, it was a break. So the reason why you just got a Fan of Waves and then a bunch of cards is because we broke it open on stream. I had it in the description. I now have changed the description and got rid of it. But basically, if you had read the description on it, we had stated that, hey, for Wave 1, and I made an announcement on the stream about it. I made an announcement on Discord about it. I made an announcement on email about it, that I wanted it to be very clear that Wave 1 was going to be a break, which means that we would open up your mystery pack live on stream and then ship all the contents to you. That's what happened. Wave 2, which is what we're doing right now, which is going to be released August, what did I say, 15th, 14th, whenever I have the release date, right? That is going to be shipped directly to you. That is not going to be a break. That is going to be, everything is going to stay sealed. The contents of it is going to be sealed and it's going to be shipped to you. Sorry for the confusion on that, but that's the reason why you received it the way you did. After VMAX Climax, I think they figured it out. Have alternate art sets with alt arts and then trainer gallery character rares for Japanese sets. Yes, I definitely think that's kind of the direction that Japan is going. I still wish, I would say, personally speaking, that they would add more alternate arts. Maybe that's just me, but I wish they did a little bit more. Like, it doesn't have to be like 20 alternate arts, but, you know, I wish they would add at least, you know, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 more. Because for the fact of the matter that with Astral Radiance they didn't add a Darkrai, I think if they added a Darkrai, that would significantly change the conversation about which is a better set between a Brilliant Star or not. Such a waste of opportunity, in my opinion. Evolving Skies is a good set, but a good set ruined by pull rates. No, it helped with the value, man. See, it's funny, man. It's different where, I feel like it's different where people live, because we've had this kind of discussion with regional pull rate, and I've kind of put that on pause. I haven't been doing updates on it. I need to go through. If my mods want to help me on that, then they can go and look into that project. But as you guys saw in my break stream with the mystery packs, we opened up, what, 45 Evolving Skies packs, and we pulled 2 Rainbow EVs, 1 Umbreon, 1 Sylveon, and then we pulled a Espeon alternate art, and then we pulled in the Moonbreon VMAX. Like, that's incredible odds. So I have not had bad pull rates from Evolving Skies. Ironically enough, I've heard people say they've had amazing pull rates from Brilliant Star, and I've had the exact opposite experience. So I think it's really different for each person, you know? Same concept for me in Battle Styles. People said Battle Styles, they've had terrible luck. I've now pulled 5 alternate art Tyrannitars from Battle Styles in opening about a grand total of 2 cases worth of Battle Styles product. And that's the main pull, right? And we did it live on stream, and we opened 1 booster box's worth of Battle Styles, and we pulled it. So it's like, I don't know, man, it's hard. Next few weeks, giveaway is going to be juiced up. What do you mean by that, John Boy? How do you think the value of the gold medal Charizard from celebrations will flow in the next 5 years? It'll probably do well, honestly. Wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I think UPC will do fine, and the value of the medal Charizard is definitely going to do great too. Sorry. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was an item that did well in the next 5 years. It really just comes down to, of course, where we are in the economy, because we just got our second quarter GDP growth report and we did go negative. So we're officially in a classified recession. So, you know, I think it really just comes down to how the market's going to do, but it is a niche item. It is a cool collectible item. So I think will do really well long term. Could you put all your stuff in your remaining Pokemon product U-Haul and drive everything that you need to a new place? I could, in theory, but the problem is it's going to cost me so much more money, John Doe, and so much more gas, because you have to think about how much product I have and try and fit it all in one U-Haul. And then since I'd have so much product, I'd have to get an even bigger U-Haul. So ultimately, at the end of the day, it's going to cost me another, you know, $1,000 to $1,500. And for me right now, when I'm trying to, you know, liquidate everything to save money, and then also allow it to where when they pull my bank account statements and they see how much money I have, it's going to be a better representation for when I apply for a home for rent. You know what I mean? So it's just like, there's just too many negatives for me to not sell my product for when I move. If I was sitting on a fat pile of cash and I didn't have most of my assets in Pokemon product right now, it'd be a different conversation. Do you think the next supposed big Evolving Skies ETB reprints will be the last ETB print, or will we get 2 more? It is a hard question to say, because if I were to guess, we're probably going to only get 1 big Evolving Skies ETB reprint. I could be 100% off base with that, but historically speaking, they're very much focused in on getting pack prices down, and they achieve that a lot greater through booster boxes, not through elite trainer boxes. The only reason to have an ETB reprint is to get the price of the ETBs down, just for the kind of like, you know, short to medium term. So, and they're more interested in the player aspect of the game. So for me, the ETB is, you know, it tends to get a lot less reprints compared to booster boxes. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was necessarily 2, but I think they're gonna probably only have 1. Tucson is even cheaper. Don't know what you mean by Tucson. Are you saying Tucson? Is that what? Am I dumb? Am I an idiot? Do I not know how to say Tucson? Yeah, you're saying Tucson. I love how I said Tucson, like the cuck I am. I'm so sorry. Tucson is cheaper, but it is not the place that I am moving. So I wish I could move to a cheaper place that was in the area that I'm trying to move to, but definitely not. I'm moving to the place that I'm moving to for a reason. It's for volleyball. Anybody going to Comic-Con? I am not, but I do know some people of my friends have talked about wanting to go. Singles, on singles, but the EX from base XY, LOL. John Boy, what am I missing here? What am I missing here? What are you referencing it? You said next few giveaways are going to be juiced. Buy singles, but from the EX. Oh, I see. I just saw you meant to say buy, not on. Singles, but the EX from base XY. LOL. But the EX from base XY. Huh. Interesting. So could you mention how your mystery packs work? I was looking. Is it a random tier that you get, or can you buy certain tiers? Yes, I'll explain how it works. Here, let me pull it up right now so we can take a look. So you can honestly pull it up on any of my pages. I have mystery boxes, sealed products, singles, however you want to look at it. So here's how it works. As it's described, you get... Am I frozen? All right, we're good. You get 5 regular packs plus 1 prize pack. So each mystery pack includes 5 guaranteed Sword and Shield era packs with a guaranteed bonus pack inside. These packs are part of Wave 2, which will be shipped to you on release date 8/15. So look on the back. Here are the possible bonus prize packs. So when it's shipped to you, you get 5, like I said, regular Sword and Shield, and then you get 1 bonus, and these are the tiers you could potentially get. You have a calculated odds. So blue, you're always at least going to get a blue or better, and then after that you have a 1 in 5 chance of getting a red, a silver, or a gold. So basically what you'll have is you will have here, I'll give you like a demonstration. You will have a Pokemon USA mystery pack like this. This is what it looks like. And then inside of it, it'll have your 5 packs, and then it'll also come with one of those color tiers. For example, this one is a blue tier one, so it has blue tier in it. You pull it out, and then it will have any of the potential ETB set era packs as your bonus. So, for example, ETB era sets from the Sword and Shield era are currently Champions Path, Pokemon Go, Shining Fates, and Celebrations. Once we get, of course, whatever the end of the year set is going to be, that's going to expand into that. Red tier, it is going to be any of the high-end tier cards from the Sun and Moon era and the low tier XY. So high-end tier could include Shining Legends, what is listed there. I've also done XY evolutions. We did that too. Silver, it's going to be high-end XY, and then anything in the black and white era. For example, we had Legendary Treasures, we had Plasma Freeze, we had Phantom Forces, Flash Fire, and then gold, as shown above, we had an Arceus pack, and then we also had a weighted heavy jungle unlimited pack. So, and the route in which I'm going to go for golds, as far as like if I'm going to go WotC era, I'm going to either do unweighted first edition or weighted heavy unlimited. That way you're going to get more value out of it, because you know, getting a weighted heavy is going to be like $500, and for me the price range I'm trying to shoot for with those are like in the $300 range. So you're basically getting, if you do the math, like, and you do pull that card, your value is very much so, I mean, you're spending what, $40, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, yeah, you're getting what, 7x value. But it is a 1 in 25 obviously. And then silver, you're basically either doubling or tripling your value depending upon which one you're getting. Reds, on average, you're gonna make your value or more depending upon which one you get. That'll be an extra $10 to $20 worth of value. So and then blue, typically that's where you're not getting as much value, and you're more than likely, if you're taking pulls out of it, losing anywhere between $5 to $10 depending upon if you get like a Champions Path or Celebrations over a Pokemon Go. But that's where the risk comes into play with the 1 in 5, 1 in 10, 1 in 25. So you can either walk away, getting 7 times your benefit, or you can walk away, losing $5 to $10 if you only get a blue. So, but of course, that's the way the game's played. And then, of course, as I mentioned before, 95% of the packs are going to be Evolving Skies. At least one of the Sword and Shield will be that. I'm not throwing in any Sword and Shield base. I'm not throwing in any Rebel Clash. I'm making sure that I am throwing in sets that you guys want. So I had a lot of Billion Stars. I had a lot of Evolving Skies. Of course, I had to throw in Fusion, had to throw in Chilling, I had to throw in Battle Styles, and Vivid. But I mean, guys, that's because if I'm picking 5 Sword and Shield eras, I have to include those other ones. You know what I mean? But I try and make it as best catered to you guys in a way in which I know for myself that I would enjoy it. So, because I want it to be something that I would be proud of selling and that I would want to open myself. And I had a lot of fun opening it. So, but that's how it goes, Jonathan. Just bought a PSA 9 2001 promo Surfing Pikachu. Do you think the card will perform well long term since they keep reprinting that card in showcases and some evolutions? I don't think it'll do bad whatsoever, John. I will tell you that if we're looking at the value right now of typical PSA 9 promos versus 10s, tends to, and I could be off base on this, and we can go take a look at Poké data. But let's look up Surfing Pikachu. So if we look at Surfing Pikachu and we look at the WotC promo, let's take a look at the 9 versus the 10. I would love to see where the value difference is. So if we just look at the long-term chart of the 10, right? Wow, they do not have a ton of value on this for the WotC promo. But value has gone down from high to low. It's dropped down about 66%. The 9, interesting. If we don't count this sale, this chart looks a little bit different. But if we do count this sale, obviously it changes things. But let's just, for the sake of the argument, not count this sale and say that, you know, it's actually not comparatively that much worse when you think of the value that you're getting out of the 9 versus the 10. Interestingly enough, yeah, hasn't performed as bad compared to some of the other WotC era first edition base shadowless cards. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think 9's a bad pickup, actually, now looking at the chart. It looks a lot different than a lot of the other older WotC era charts, so not a bad pickup. Bought it 22 shipped. Are you kidding me? You bought it 22 shipped? Jesus loves me, my guy. That's not even shown on the chart. That's an incredible buy. Wow. Dude, where did you get it for that cheap? That is a great pickup. Shout out to you on that one, John. If you could buy Arceus box or Evolving Sky sleeve boosters along with getting the delivery Charizard, would be a deal. I'm hoping for that delivery Charizard. Is there a list of the stuff you have? No, but here's what I can do, Tyrone, is I can come to you guys at the end of the day. This is what I'll do, Tyrone. I will create a list of items and I will subcategorize it. So I will have personal collection and then I will have back inventory. And then I will say, here is what I have and here is the amount I have. And then I will have my rules for how you can get better discounts. So I'll say, like, for example, you spend over $500, you get a 10% discount. You spend over $1,000, you get like a 15% discount. And you spend over $1,500, you get a 20% discount, and so on and so forth. So I can progressively have like a way in which I can just make it easy for everyone, because I don't want to go through and say, here's the set price on this item, because it's gonna change if you buy one item versus you buy 20 items. So, because I can sit here and say, listen, I'm going to list on my website that the Cosmic Eclipse Build-A-Battle is going for $650. However, if you reach out to me and you do friends and family, then it's $600. And if you buy multiple of them, then it could be $575 or it could be $550. So it's like really difficult because I'm going to list it differently, or I'm going to give you a price differently based on how much you're purchasing. So that's just the way it is. But what I'll try and do, Tyrone, is I will try and come up with a chart, and I will go through, or not a chart, but a list, and I'll go through and I'll like subcategorize it, and I'll tell you guys the rules on how I'm going to structure it. That way it's easy. And if you guys want to come to me saying that, hey, this is what I want, I'll come with a price to you and I'll give you a discount based on what I think how much you're purchasing based on my structure, and then I will tell you the price and we can go from there. So that way it makes it easier for all of us. You save money, I save money, and so on. Do you think it's better to wait, is that right? Do you think it's a better investment to buy Sun and Moon instead of Sword and Shield era at the M to maybe diversify your portfolio, especially since I already bought a lot of Sword and Shield, or keep investing in the current sets? I think the most important thing you need to understand, Abraham, or just everyone in general, sorry, I don't mean to say it like that, like call you out. Here's the deal, Abraham, listen to me, bro. No, I'm just kidding. How I determine is my entry point. Entry point in retrospect is the most important thing. So if you take a look at a lot of the Sun and Moon era stuff, the entry points are horrible. The Sword and Shield era stuff, a lot of the entry points are so much better. And that is just based on the fact of the matter, you're taking into account that a lot of these sets are only, 3 or 4 years old from the Sun and Moon era. Some of them 5, some of them 4, some of them 5. and they're already 3, 4, 5x time their original MSRP value, and that's incredible. Versus Sword and Shield era, you've got a lot that you can get under MSRP that'll perform really well long term. Lost Origin, just based off of what we're seeing right now, probably going to be a good performing set long term, especially when we talk about the character rares. If you can pick that up for like around 105 or lower, I think you're looking at a deal, right? Because long term, I think it's going to perform well. Now, of course, the cheaper you get it, the better of a deal you're going to be able to get from it. But the point that I'm saying is if you are picking it up around that $100 price point, I'm definitely not going to fault you for it. And if you just see the price continue to drop, then you can always dollar cost average. So that's how I would like to look at it. Same concept to price for Evolving Skies. I said before, if you can get it for 120 or lower, I think that's a solid pickup price. And then Brilliant Star, it's probably going to be, honestly, when they do get that reprint, I'm going to say 105 or lower is going to be the same target. Maybe 110, worst case scenario, but that's kind of my opinion. Sun and Moon, if you can find some Sun and Moon product for an affordable price, I know the ETBs are still relatively cheap because of the reprint they had for them, or the old supply they found, however you want to look at it. Lost Thunder build and battle kits, I'm super high on that as well, especially with the booster boxes because of what the price used to be. But even if you look at percentage value, you're still more than likely going to get a greater yield on these Sword and Shield era products because the volatility is going to be so much higher after they go to reprint. Lost Origin really looking like it's going to be a top tier set. I'm going to say number 3, baby. Pokemon should be able to design and add an additional alt art or 2 exclusive English sets would be nice. That is one thing I've always had a huge criticism of, is John, that I definitely feel like English kind of needs to get their act together in regards to being more creative with their own designs, especially when you talk about promos. But yeah, just for like an example of, you know, having their own alternate art designs, I would love that as well. Michael Wolf, do you think that the best price point to enter on a new set comes out the Lugia set? Wait, hold on, let me read that again. Do you think the best price point to enter on the new sets coming out, like the Lugia set and specialty sets, would be the pre-order price, or do you think it would be better to wait after release? That's a great question, Michael, and I think it's really it's really different depending upon what the sentiment is for that set. And the reason why I say that is because here's a perfect example. Let's go sealed product, and let's go Evolving. Wow, I can't spell evolving. Evolving Skies booster box. For those of you that don't remember, when Evolving Skies booster boxes first came out on pre-order, the prices for pre-order were as low as $115. We, at this point, had already seen what the full set was going to look like, and it was still at $115. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to tell you that that is extremely undervalued, knowing the sentiment behind the set. Skyrocketed up, went back down to $100, and then it climbed, and now we're here. So for me, that was pre-release price. That was pre-order price. Now, here's another example. Fusion Strike booster box. Fusion Strike, it was a set that did not have a lot of, positive sentiment. And it wasn't that people were hating on the set, it was that it was a victim of its time. It was right before Billion Stars, right after Celebration, so people were saving money and skipping it. Pre-release price right before the release, it was at around as it got closer to the pre-release, the prices continue to drop, it gets released, and then the prices tank because more product of it comes out. So really, I think is going to come down to the market sentiment. And if you notice that there's a high amount of market sentiment and you're noticing that the price is around the $100 or lower, then I think that's a good price to jump on. If you think that there's a lot of negative market sentiment based off of what we're seeing on, let's say, for example, Astral Radiance, then you can make your own decision on saying, a lot of negative sentiment around Astral Radiance. Maybe $100 is not the best price point. It could potentially go lower. Lost Origins, for example, you've seen a kind of shift based off of the character rares being shown. And so $100 feels a lot better than $100 for Astral Radiance, if that makes sense, because people already regard it as a better set based off of what we're seeing with the character rares. And it's going to more than likely be a good set long term. Concept is going to also apply with the Lugia set. My guess is it probably will find its pre-release sale price of around that $100 point. And, who knows? We'll see what the set's going to look like. But we know it's going to have the Rayquaza VMAX character rare. We know it's going to have the Duraludon VMAX character rare. We know it's going to have a Lugia V-Star Alt Art. Those cards are going to add tremendous value. I should say less the Duraludon, more the Rayquaza, but you get the point that I'm making, is that it's going to more than likely be a very strong set. And for that reason, my sentiment towards it, without even knowing what the full card list, because we can kind of take process of elimination based off of what we've seen from VMAX Climax and then knowing the character value of a Lugia, it's going to be a good set. And so for that reason, my sentiment is going to be geared towards what's the price value on the pre-release. And if I do see that the price is at, let's say, $100 for it, I'm going to say this is an undervalue. I'm going to pick this up, and we're going to see how this plays long term. Yay, classified recession, right, dude? Don Travis, hi. Oh my God, so glad I found you. I'm going through a huge collection of cards I've been storing away. I'm so lost. So what I'm looking for, i.e. value rare fakes. Where can I find that out? Ooh, that's a tough one, Travis. I would say there's some YouTube videos online that can tell you how to determine if your cards are fake or not. Really look up like what era your cards are. So like it's different for each era. You've got EX era, XY era, or EXXY era. You've got Diamond and Pearl era, you've got GX era. There's so many different types of fakes depending upon the era. I noticed that the older back you get, the easier it is to spot, versus the newer cards are very much darker holographically speaking. So I would definitely say that's where I would start with in watching those videos. Yeah, and they're pretty easy to find. When I was first getting back into the hobby, I was questioning that too myself, and I found that out pretty quickly. Holy poggers, recession indeed, good sir. Yo, what's up, Tom? How we doing, brother? Thanks for stopping by. Anybody notice that the Alt-Art Giratina is going for around 300 right now? That sounds like Japanese market right now, man. Yo, what's up, Kimberly? How we doing? Always nice to see you. What ETB reprint for Evolving Skies? There's been rumors there's an ETB reprint for Evolving Skies coming out. That is something that Mr. Danny Phantom said. Don't know where his sources are, but he's a reputable person, but... yes, I do play volleyball, Sasunda scored. That is why I'm actually moving, is I'm going to see how far I can go with volleyball. Sand specifically. I'm good. How about yourself? Hopefully all is well. I have another type of card as well, Yu-Gi-Oh, I think. Are those popular still? I mean, depending upon what print of the Yu-Gi-Oh it is and what character of the Yu-Gi-Oh card, of course, yeah, there can totally still be valuable. So, but I'm not an expert in Yu-Gi-Oh, so I couldn't tell you. Evolving Skies ETBs haven't risen over $100 like Vivid Voltage, Darkness Blaze. So if we get a large ES reprint possible, I don't know if I would say 25 to 30. That is a very harsh drop. I would say 35 to 40 is more realistic, just because it is such a high demand set. And the thing is, too, John, you have to understand that Vivid Voltage had been out for... God, I want to say it had been out for about almost 2 years or a year and a half before it got its reprint. Evolving Skies ETBs haven't even been out for a full year yet. So it's hard to say and judge that based off the fact that both Evolving Skies came out in August 2021 and it's not even August 2022 yet. We're getting there. And it was the end of August, mind you. And then Vivid Voltage and Darkness Ablaze both came out in 2020, and it was Darkness was like June of 2020, I want to say, and then Vivid to follow after near the end of 2020. So the time frames on those are a little bit different. That's my opinion on that, John Doe. So high demand, less time. So it'll probably go down to 35-40 for that reason. If you guys like Pokemon cards, help a fellow YouTuber out. Psych 2, by the way, Pokemon Center, Pokemon Go ETBs to the moon. Interesting. I just got my Pokemon Go ETB Plus. Is today pretty loosely packaged with Shrimp Rack. Dang, that's kind of a bummer. Your mystery packs are better than revs. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Jason K. I mean, they're definitely priced better, and the pull rates are, they're about the same. But the value you're getting, like your base value in regards to your Sword and Shield era and your like blue tier, it's definitely hard to compete with mine compared to theirs. That's all I can tell you. So definitely better. Should I get a gold medal Charizard from Celebrations graded by a lower value company now, or wait until someone like PSA or Beckett will they? Yeah, PSA and Beckett will definitely do it, Gabriel, and I would say I would do it sooner than later, because if you do have a membership, prices right now for PSA have dropped down to $18. So the prices on those have definitely have decreased drastically. So I would definitely say that is the route I would go on that. And as far as it goes, if you at least created the order before the end of the month, you do have a grand full-on month of like shipping time before they officially are going to decline your $18 pricing. So hopefully that makes sense when I say that. Basically what I'm saying is that you ship it in, let's say let's say you print out your whole shipment and everything on the 29th. Then you're going to have until August the 29th to have everything sent in. So they'll still give you a full month, even if everything doesn't reside fully within the month. If let's say you decide to do everything last second, you know? So, speaking of which, PSA just received my cards. Wait, what? Welcome to PSA. I'm trying to sign into my PSA. Get started by simply answer questions below. I said sign in. I don't need to. It's not letting me sign in. It says get started by simply entering an email in below. Oh, is it the wrong email? Is that why? Are your information created below? No. I had it right the first time. That is interesting. So, because it just got dropped off at their PO box when I use USPS. So I want to make sure that it has begun the process. I would be surprised if it hasn't, but continue to PSA. That is weird that they're making me do this whole rigmarole now. So, but all right, let's check my account and see where I'm sitting. So, hey, your submission has arrived at PSA. Sweet. So it's already started the arrived process, which means they've received my package. So cool. Sweet. So I made it within the deadline, which I shipped it out like 4 days ago. So I had until August the 24th. So I had a lot of time, but I'm stoked that it arrived. So I'm ready for that, man. I picked up a 9.5 CGC Marnie for 105. Oh, but to answer your question, Gabriel, I want to finish answering it. I would definitely wait for PSA. I would pick up, if you're not trying to send it in and grade it yourself, then I would definitely say I would just wait for when people start to mass sending it into PSA and then just do it then. So you can get more value off of it. But anyway, I picked up a 9.5 CGC Marnie for 105 a couple days ago. Anything Marnie will go up? Yeah, Marnie will be a good character long term, I would say. My LGS has Rayquaza VMAX Altar Perfect 10 at 2,500. Do you think that's a good price? Well, obviously, I like to do things off of what we see on the interweb, so let's take a look. Let's take a look-see and see what it's going for, because 2,500, you know, I'm not an expert, but that sounds extremely expensive. But let's find out. Let's see what a perfect 10 is going for. So, that is $800. That is $535. Pristine 10. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Is Pristine 10 any different from a Perfect 10? Because let's take a look at the subgrades on this, and this will kind of answer the question. But yeah, when I hear 2,500, I'm like, are we BGS here? Was on an eBay auction yesterday. PSA 97 Pikachu. Lucky for that low price. I'm happy with that hold. That is a great hold. Like I said before, shout out to you, John. Let's take a look at the image. 100% of when you spend 10,000. What? PayPal changes policy that I believe starting today that you can't use family and friends. Wait. Hold on, Tom. Wait, what? What do you mean you can't use family and friends? What do you mean necessarily by that? Thank you for your knowledge, Pokemon. I appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate you, Abraham, and I appreciate for the kind words. 9.5. Yeah, so I gotta imagine a perfect 10 or a pristine 10 is probably different. But I could be wrong. I'm not an expert when it comes to that CGC stuff. Shoot, I missed the beginning of the stream. Well, you're all good, Nate. We still got about an hour left. You can still use friends and family if you use a personal account. But yes, you're right. If you have a business account, it will discontinue after this month. Wow, that is really upsetting. Okay, I've been watching, so I have some cards in Spanish, French, and Japanese. Do they differ from English value? Yes, they do. English tends to be the most valuable of the languages. Gabriel, they don't grade those gold cards. Oh, they do not. Interesting. I thought they were going to grade them. Hold on. Let me look up. Metal Charizard is graded. Unless that's a fake one that I don't know about. Yeah, PSA grades the metal cards. Are you referencing another place? I would double check the policy to be sure it changed. Dang, dude. I've been buying BS ETBs for $30, so I think I'll at least be able to get ES for 30. Hey, that's fair, man. If you're able to get it for a cheaper price, then that's entirely possible. ETBs or booster boxes long term. Short term, playing the wave booster boxes. Long term, historically speaking, ETBs have performed better. I think the real question you got to ask yourself is how much storage you got, because booster boxes are much easier to store than Elite Trainer boxes. So, but if you're talking about liquidation, oh god, see that's the thing I'm learning right now. Is that you have so many other factors, because you can sit here and you can calculate your like return on percentages, and if you are looking at a 5 to 10 year hold, then definitely ETBs. But if you're saying to yourself, I'm only trying to flip within the next year or two, which I would not consider long term, then booster boxes are the way to go. They're a lot easier to quickly liquidate and kind of play the wave on, and since they typically have more reprints, the volatility is that greater for you to sell at high points and enter back in at lower points. Plus, they're easier and cheaper to ship. So that's why long term, if you are going to go the ETB route, it's a lot easier for it to cut. It's a lot better for it to cut into your margins, because if, let's say you have an ETB, you spent $40 to get, it's worth $200. $10 is nothing. But if you are spending $40 on one and it's now worth $60, well, that's 50% of your profits that you were going to make. So versus a booster box, let's say the price, volatility speaking, goes from 100 to 160. Well, $10 for an extra $50 is not that big of a deal either. So I just grabbed a deal, $30 ship for a case of Meowth VMAX boxes. Comes with 2 Cosmic. You grabbed 1 box of them or a case's worth? Because I assume you mean just one of them, but that's still a good deal. If I read it right, it's a pop 4. Yeah. $30 each. There you go. Yeah, that's a pretty solid deal, man. I remember when I first started, that was some of the product I would do bundles with. Good old days. They stopped grading metal cards and didn't reallow it. That's why the pop report is really low. Thank you, Danny, for the correction. I appreciate that. That's tough, man. There you go. I wonder if they're ever going to reintroduce it. That's upsetting. Spend 5K on a metal Charizard to get graded with PSA? Jeez. They quit grading the gold cards because the slabs were caught damaged to the cards and stopped until they get recorrected. Okay, so they're eventually going to do it, but they're not doing it right now. There you go. So yeah, I would say still I would wait personally. I would still wait. Thinking long-term 5+ years, I ask because I feel like I always got more out of the wallet by buying booster boxes. But you have to ask yourself, Alonzo, right? Here's a question. If you bought a booster box for $100 and then it goes to 120, 20% profit. If you buy a booster box for $40 and it goes to 60, which is another 20, which one did you realistically make more money on? You technically, percentage-wise, made more money off of the ETB, even though it's the same amount of price movement because the percentage gain. Because let's say for the sake of this argument, let's say you've got $120. No, let's make it an even number. Say you have $200, right? And you decide to buy 2 booster boxes, and they each yield an extra $20. That's $40, gross profit. Well, if you buy 5 Elite Trainer boxes that each yield $20, you just made 100 instead of 40. So your value is greater. However, then that's gross, that's not net, which is why when you're talking about shipping, it's going to be a lot different. But to be fair, if you have a booster box that's going for 100 and you're shipping at 120, you still don't want to ship at 120. Just the same way as if you have an ETB that only goes up $20, you don't want to ship it. But percentage-wise speaking, you're saying to yourself that the value of going from 40 to 60, that's about a 50% increase versus the value of going from 120 to 20 is a 20% increase. So marginally speaking, it's going to be a lot tighter if you were to say same percentage as ETBs versus booster boxes, but that's because the value is greater. That's why typically a lot of people like to ship their ETBs in cases, because that way it's going to bring down their, average cost to anywhere between $3 to $5 to ship. And selling a booster box for $60 a piece minus $3 and then whatever fees are included, it's going to feel a lot better on the wallet selling it as a case. Same concept applies with booster boxes though, of course. But then you also have to ask yourself as well, what's going to be easier for you to offload? A booster box that goes for over $200 or an ETB that goes for $80? Some people are willing to spend, more for less. Hey, evening from the UK. I've opened a lot of celebrations recently. It got me wondering, with $1 to $2 cards at the moment, can you see hitting $10 ranging in 5+ years? Yes, 100%. You've seen that a lot with promos. You can totally see value on promos long term. That's why I think a lot of people have a misrepresentation of promos. Let's do Torterra level X. And I don't know if we're gonna have we're gonna have that. No, let's go Infernape actually. Infernape level X. So if you take a look at the Infernape level X promo card and you just look at its overall raw value, yeah, it's not represented. That's so annoying. Yeah, I can't really see it represented because it's only within the past year. I figured they weren't going to have the value on it. But for those of you that don't know, you were able to pick up this card not that long ago for $2, and then now it's going for like $8. But at its peak, it was going for around 26. So I don't know, man. What was that? 22 times? That's about a 13 times return, which in the grand scheme of things, it's not crazy. But then when you think about with a lot of these promos, how much harder they are to grade and the value that you're going to get from a PSA 10 is really good. Obviously, maybe this is a bad example. But the point I'm still trying to make with these is if you're trying to send in some of these promos for grading and they're harder to grade, lower pop, it's definitely not terrible if you're able to hit those 10s, because we talked about this with celebrations because there were some low pop celebration ones. However, we don't know what the long-term implications are going to be because PSA just opened up, so who knows if everyone's going to have the same idea. But if you look at a lot of other promo cards that have 5,000 PSA pop, for example, like the Champions Path Charizard, the Glass Stained Birds, If you're talking about something with that high of a pop, I don't think it's worth it grading it for PSA. At that point, you might as well go to the BGS route because you're able to pick up a lot of these promo cards for cheaper, a lot of these $1 to $2 cards for cheaper. And then if you hit a BGS Black Label 10, then the value is going to be so much greater because value on Black Labels are great and they're going to be lower pop. Just bought a nice collection of gold stars and stuff. Would be cool for you to have a look. Show pics, Beastie. I love me some gold stars. Yeah, you can always drop pictures in the Discord. The Halloween booster packs are a good idea. Kids into collecting along with the new McDonald's promo cards. I 100% agree, John. I really hope that it is more kids focused because that's what I want to do. You the guy. I appreciate that, Alonzo. Getting celebration cards mint for cheap would be a wise. A few bucks for BO and textures on those cards look great. People will be wanting them. I like that, John. I like that. That's a pretty solid idea, man. That is a pretty solid idea indeed. But yeah, no, guys. What was I gonna say? I was just about to say something. I'm stoked that my cards are already at PSA. I'm stoked that they got it in the system. I'll be interesting to see how long the order prep takes, though, because according to one of our moderators, shout out, as always, to our boy, Raheem, he said that he's already in the process right now. So that's incredible that it's already gotten that fast, that he's in the grading process. So I hope it'll be that quickly for myself. So, but who knows? Who knows? So with the announcement McDonald's said I may be able to finally pull a master set. That's funny, Ellie. You know? Especially enormous celebrations reprints at the end of the year. The FOMO set in for celebrations. Ha, good point. John, I feel like you and I are on... I've said this before and I'll say it again. I feel like you and I are very much on a similar wavelength when it comes to a lot of these things. So the last Sword and Shield set is going to be a banger. More than likely, Tom, it is going to be a banger. So we're expecting the last two sets after Lost Origin. So we're going to get Lost Origin, which looks like it's going to be good. We're going to get a Lugia set, and then we're going to get more than likely a V-Star versus VMAX shiny set. So we're going to end 2020, or aka the Sword and Shield era, with a bang, and I'm excited for it. What Pokemon would you want to be a business partner? Alakazam. There's your answer. I know you want all of them to come back 10s. What percentage do you think is going to come back 10s? Are you talking about for my grading sheet? Oh, from PSA? Is that what you mean, Lalonzo? If Pokemon were real, would corporations use their power to make money? Have you ever heard of Team Rocket? The answer to that is yes. Come on, dude. Of course they would. Did you consider any other places to move like Nevada or Cali for volleyball? I did. So I had looked into California, but we were going to move to Redondo Beach area. And the problem with it, Tyrone, is that in LA County, we had the police commissioner come out, or the police chief, I think it was. He came out and made an announcement saying basically don't move to LA County because the crime rate has gotten so out of control they can't control it. And then you've got gas prices for what's going on, and you know, high crime, high gas prices, so much more expensive to live there than anywhere else in the country that has high level volleyball. Only real upside is it would have really good volleyball, and I'd be living paycheck to paycheck, and I'd be closer to family, I guess. But it's like, I don't know, it's just not worth it, man. I don't think it's worth it. So I do not think it is worth it, in my opinion, as much as I would have loved to live in California, because I am born and raised California. Would have loved to have moved there. It's just not the state I remember it being. You know, a lot has changed. There's a reason why it was the #1 state that people moved out of the country last year. But if you want me to give you kind of an answer, Lalonzo, just for kind of the fun of it, I will show you what I am sending in and what my kind of PSA predictions are for what I know for market price, just because I figured you would probably take enjoyment of this. I'm in Newport Beach. Redondo is very nice. Yes, 100%. Manhattan, Redondo, Hermosa, any of those areas. So that's kind of it. I wanted to move there. I've got connections for volleyball down there. It's just too expensive. You know, crime in most of LA area, it's just not there. And unless I'm living in like the super wealthy pocket, which even then, man, I mean, it's tough. It's tough. So Arizona, I feel like the area that we'll be living in, it's going to be a nice area. You're getting a lot better of a price for the nice area, and it's a lot lower crime. Do you think the alt art Gengar and the Halloween packs will bring down the value of the original one? I'm curious if the pull rates will be super easy. Wait, are they including the alt art Gengar in the... I did not know that. Do we know it's the full art Gengar? Is that confirmed? That's interesting. $500 worth of Evolving Skies ETBs versus 500 Arceus boxes. In your opinion, long run, which one would give more bang for buck? Oh my god, I don't know, man. I would say Allie, historically speaking, if we're looking at what history is going to tell us, I'm going to have to... I mean, it's not a lot of history, but it's history nonetheless. I got to go with the Arceus V boxes. Dang. Yeah, I'm going with Arceus V, man. The altar of the Galarian Moltres, Giratina, Moonbreon would fit the Halloween theme vibes. I'm curious of this set, especially more secret rares. Yeah, for sure. I know a lot of athletes from Cali live in Vegas too. Yeah, I mean, it feels as if like the place to be is Nevada or Arizona and then travel to California. Because that's what I'm planning on doing, is I will be traveling to Cali for tournaments. So it's just so much cheaper that way, you know? So, but... This man T Beastie is trying to just flex to us all of his cards. That's so funny. Seismic Shock community posts of all of the alt arts Gengar for the Halloween packs. Really? That's good to know. That'll be crazy. I would assume that it's going to have the stamp, so it's not going to affect the value at all. Pika Pika! Dude, what is going on, man? Why are we taking so long? Well, we just got some more breaking news courtesy of Sky IG. But basically, in the Halloween packs, we're going to get the Gengar alternate art. But outside of that being revealed, obviously, you know, I'm just saying the end of the year is going to be pretty good, considering we've got a Lugia set. Release date for that has been officially confirmed for early November. And then, obviously, the shiny set, we're still waiting on to hear what that's going to look like as well. But no, Lily, to answer your question, because I thought it'd be fun just to kind of show you, because I fear, Lalonzo, you'd want to look at this. But so here's kind of a list of the cards that I'm going to be sending in. And then here's what my expected grades are going to be. And then here's what the market value is. It's very hard to know because some of these items are very much like... So how I categorized it is if it has a firm dollar sign, that means it is the like recently sold price. If it has a question mark, that basically means that that was the last sold price, but it was a while ago. And if you notice too, if it says 2 quantity, that means that it's 300 each, 2 quantity, 500 each. So 3 of these, you know, a great encounter Skeptile does not go for 1,530, but 3 of them do. So I just combined it. But yeah, these are kind of all the cards I'm trying to do. If it has a straight up question mark, it means it doesn't have sales history on it. So, but yeah, so most of my 10s, because I had made a list of 42 that I wanted to send in, but then when they dropped the price even more, then I just started sending in on my other ones that I thought could get 9s. So these are all my other cards that I think will get 9s, but as you can see, most of it is Diamond, Pearl, Platinum era stuff, but Wanu 2 I can also zoom out, so it's easier to... Actually, no, that's harder to see. So I might have to zoom in. Just make it easier for you to look, but... Oh god, the kids aren't getting the packs anymore. Tyrone, right? Isn't that the fear? Rip the kids. Do you think they'll ever have a set with pixelated art? The nostalgia that would bring would be immense. I could totally see them having like pixelated artworks. I would not be surprised at all if they did something like that. Specifically, Japan is better at that kind of artwork. They're pretty good at that kind of artwork stuff. So, but Alonzo, obviously, I have a lot of them that I'm saying expecting 10s. I have a lot of them that I think that could get 9s. One of them will probably, hopefully, get an 8. But, you know, in any of these areas where I'm like, all right, this looks like a strong 10, it's going to come down to the grader. So a lot of them could get 9s. A lot of 9s could get 10s for all I know. So only time will tell with that, but... Interesting, Boom. Saying it's photoshopped. Oh, am I tired, Boom? Oh my goodness, I am definitely tired, Tom. That is for sure. You think it's wise to grab some Ancient Muse sealed promos? Those cards and slabs will always be wanted. I don't see it as a bad pickup by any means, as long as that if it is in the promo, it is ultimately in promo sleeve condition, because a lot of times you'll have like it's in the promo, but at the same exact time it's still been battered around. You know what I mean? That's a good list. I see the Diamond and Pearl. Yes, sir. Diamond and Pearl. That is my babies. I love Diamond and Pearl era, as you can see. I guess I can show... Let's see what my most expensive one that I'm sending in. Platinum Arceus Charizard. I hope that gets a 10. I feel like it has a shot for sure. Great Encounters Dialga. I would be stunned if that one didn't get a 10, honestly. It's got a really good condition. What about another one? Leafeon Hollow, really sad. Centering on that is not the best, so I think it'll probably get a 9. Leafeon Reverse Foil is pretty good. It has a shot at a 10, honestly. And then, what? Did I say the Gengar? Yeah, Gengar. Gengar is in pretty solid condition, too. So, yeah, I'm excited, man. $5 a pack when those kids come to my door. Listen here, kiddies. I'm not sending you free stuff. You're paying for your tricks and treats this year. Give me $5. I'll give you the Pokemon cards, or you get nothing. Oh my goodness, it's terrible. I'm for the children, he says. Oh, could you imagine? I had someone message me on TCG Player today. I thought it was so funny. He said, hey, you sent one extra card on accident. I'm like, just keep it. What ETB exclusive promo do you think will do the best from the Sword and Shield era? You said ETB promo? Honestly, you want my honest opinion? Here's what we have for promos. EV VMAX, which kind of blows. Full Art Charizard. Mewtwo, Full Art. And then I'm missing the last one. And then the Greninja Gold Star. So if we go Mewtwo and we look at the promo on it, let's look at the promo right here. It is currently selling for $1 freaking dollar, dude. $1. That's stupid, bro. That is stupid how cheap it is. So, you take a look at that card, and then let's say Charizard. And let's look at the Charizard promo. Actually, I'll just say Charizard V. That'll be easier. I don't know why I didn't do Mewtwo V. Look at how cheap this card is. This is going for about $580, $550. So I guess you really got to ask your question right now is, what are you betting more on? Because I think it's more between these two. I think the Greninja, the art design is not as cool as I would have liked. So I think it's between these two. And personally speaking, I'm betting on the Charizard. I think the Charizard will do well. I'm not the biggest fan of the Greninja. I think it's kind of tacky looking. I don't like the fact that it's got white or it's got yellow borders. I think the art design is very lackluster, and people, from what we've seen, have not been the biggest fan of the stamp. I could be proven wrong on this, but I don't know, man. That's just not me. But it looks like we've got 3 people in a row that said Greninja Gold Star, Greninja, Greninja. So I don't know. People disagree with me on that one. Can you show the visual of the card as well? Hold on, let me see Tom. What do you mean by that, Tom? In reference to what? Do you think DP era cards will have a boom period like EX era, or no? They've had their boom, bro. They're having their boom right now. Pokemon Level X cards have been popping off forever. I think they're gonna start crashing, dude. Level X cards have been going stupid crazy right now. Oh, they are so overvalued in my opinion. So ridiculously overvalued. A lot of these Diamond and Pearl era cards are. Like, let's take a look at this Infernape, right? And don't get me wrong, it's a low pop, but look at how much it was going for. $22 for a 10, $2,000. It's a 100x return. You know how dumb that is if you sold it for that price? Empoleon. Bruh. Stupid. It is stupid how much more valuable they are. Eli really called it Min Ninja. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, no, definitely not it. I meant the visual of the card you sent in for grading. Yes, I can send you visuals of the cards. So I'm going to show you the first one. I'm going to show you all the Arceus cards that I sent in. So we go to Platinum Arceus. So of the Arceus cards that I sent in, and these are pack pulled, by the way. So I sent this Charizard. So this is what it looks like. It's a holo. I sent in this Arceus right here. So the one on the far right, the one that's the least expensive of the 3, sadly. I sent in the Gengar. So this Gengar right here, I pulled that. I sent in a couple of the Arceus cards. I don't think I sent these ones in. I'm trying to remember which Arceus cards. I know I sent in a grass one. No, I sent in a psychic one. I know I sent in a regular one. I also sent in a Salamence level X. So sent that in as well. Anything else? I think I sent in a Water Arceus. I could be wrong on that one. But I did open a lot of Arceus cards. I sent in a Zapdos GX. So this card, I sent in one or two of these. So that's it that I can think of off the top of my head for like the real cool ones that I sent in from Arceus. What was another set I'm sending in? All right, let's look at Majestic Dawn. So Majestic Dawn, I sent in this Leafeon, both the reverse holo and the holo version. Great Encounters, I sent in a lot of Great Encounters. So that's the Dialga level X. That's the Dialga I sent in. So sent that bad boy in. I sent in as well a Cresselia holo, not the reverse holo version, the standard version. Here, I'll go PSA 9, so it'll probably pop up in order from the ones I sent in. I sent in this Darkrai as well. Sent in a ton of these Sceptiles. I sent in this Swampert. Sorry, not the reverse holo, but the holo version. I didn't get any reverse holo ones. I sent in this Pachirisu. Sent in this Tangrowth. I sent in this Cresselia down here. Yeah, that's kind of it from Great Encounters. What else? Secret Wonders. Here, we'll look at the Secret Wonders cards I sent in. So I sent in the Mew. I sent in... I had such terrible pulls from Great Encounters that I opened. I sent in both the Gastrodons. I sent in the Roserade. I sent in the Salamence, the regular, not the reverse holo. So this one right here. And then I sent in a Ludicolo. And a Jumpluff. Oh god, what else did I send in from the Diamond and Pearl era that I can show you? I have a lot, man. I have a lot, but I guess I'll show some of the Diamond and Pearl base holos, and then I'll kind of finish here because I want to move on without completely going off on it. Sent in my Torterra level X. Sent in a Staraptor. Sent in multiple of those, as you saw. Sent in... Really? I mean, I think that's kind of it. I didn't really have a lot to send in for Diamond and Pearl. Yeah, I think that was kind of it that I can think of. But anyway, that's a lot. I apologize. I mean, the Stamp Scream Celebrations of the Gold Star is just a reminder of those legendary Gold Star cards. I get that. I guess if you're going from a very much nostalgic approach, you can totally make the argument for that. I just think you have to think to yourself the long-term value of the character itself of Greninja. I understand that people are like sentimental of Gold Star, but since it is a Greninja card, and don't get me wrong, like Greninja is definitely the best of the three, and I'm not saying Greninja is a bad like starter by any means, but it's not a Charizard or a Mewtwo. That value that a Charizard or Mewtwo holds is so much greater. And I get it, there's nostalgia behind a gold stamp, but there's also way more nostalgia behind a Charizard, which is why it's so valuable. Same concept applies to the Mewtwo. So that's the only thing that I would say as to why it'll do better. Because of just how the character is so much, it's just how strong it is. Hey Eli, hey Eli, I live your effort and appreciate it. I love your efforts, probably what I'm saying. Can you please tell me how I can preserve my ATVs? The foils get loose even in the case. Interesting. That's a tough one, man, because mine don't really get loose. And maybe that's because the kind that I get. I know that some people like to get like these kind of knockoff like cases that they buy from they're like kind of like cereal containers, or like kind of storage tub ones. I know that those ones tend to fit pretty well, but when you're talking about like the wrap around it, for me personally, I have always used the God, what's the name of the company that does card savers and top loaders? How am I forgetting the name of that company? That is blowing my mind right now. Hold on, I gotta look them up. Ultra Pro. Yeah, I've always been a fan of Ultra Pros. I think that they're really nice and tight, and the way they fit is very snug and comfy. So for me, I personally prefer to hold them in the Ultra Pro ones. I know you're paying a little bit more, but it's worth it to protect the wrap. But and Danny right there, Target sells the plastic containers that fit perfectly in the ETB, so people are a big fan of that one. So hey man, if that's what it works for people, I know that some people said they like it because it does help display, but I'd be curious to see how the wrapping on that fits. But what's your chase card of the year that you haven't pulled? Wow, that I haven't pulled. Any alt art from Brilliant Stars? Jeez, dude. Any alt art from Brilliant Stars, I would say, that I haven't pulled. I also have yet to pull a shiny Charizard VMAX. That is also one I have yet to pull. I've pulled a shiny Charizard from Hidden Fates. I've pulled a shiny Charizard from Champion's Path. So I would say probably those. I'd say probably that. I bought some of, they fit great, but a little tight in the upper corners. Be gentle when putting them in on the lid. I think going forward, long-term, kids from today will grow up not knowing Gold Star. That's a great point to also point out, Pika, is that when you think of Gold Star, although there is nostalgia behind it, Gold Star is very much to one era, and it's going to be popular to the people that grew up in that era or a huge fan of that era, kind of like Level X cards. Although I'm a huge Level X fan, I know that Level X does not hold the same value because it's specific to Gen 4, kind of like Gold Star. So for me, it has less to do with the art design nostalgia and more to do with the character nostalgia, because there's more value being held to a Gen 1 Pokemon than there is a Gold Star design of a Pokemon that, people like, but it's only of value to certain people. And Charizard is continuously put in product time and time and time again. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, if you look at Greninja, and maybe I'll be wrong. Like, I have no problem being wrong. And if you look at Greninja, there are a decent amount of Greninja cards that are thrown in. You've got about a page and a half worth of Greninja cards. But when you think Charizard, man, you've got 9 pages worth of Charizard. They just throw Charizard in everything. Do you have every Level X card? I do not. For a while, I was trying to collect every Level X card in near mint to mint condition, but I started selling off my collection once the prices skyrocketed 10x. But I do have quite a bit of them still. I 100% agree, Danny. The custom acrylic cases are definitely the go-to, I think. $10 a container can't be beat, plus it has a rubber seal. Yeah, it works for some people. I also think it's harder, though, because the designs are... They don't look as clean, I would say, is my issue. Plebosaurus, what's up, my guy? How we doing? Hopefully all is well with you. If you bought 50 near mint cards from TCG, what percentage do you think would be expected to get 10s? John, that is a tough question because it depends on era. I would say if you're talking Sun and Moon and Sword and Shield era, I would say a high percentage of them have a chance of being 10s. But if you say XY era, then a low percentage of them have being 10s. But that's also comes down to the fact of the matter that Sun and Moon era, Sword and Shield era have had a lot better print than XY era older. And I know people like to complain, obviously, in print nowadays. But when you think about how bad the print is nowadays compared to some olders, eras, it has gotten better. It can be very much set specific, however. Perfect example is, of course, Burning Shadows had a terrible print. But if you take, for example, Unified Minds, Cosmic Eclipse, a lot of these like newer Sun and Moon era sets, they still have really good prints on the cards. So I can tell you for personal experience, I have bought many cards from TCG Player, both from the Sword and Shield era and the Sun and Moon era, that have pulled PSA 10s. So one of my favorite cards in my collection is a Rainbow Giratina and Garchomp card, and it is a PSA 10 that I bought off of TCG Player to add to my collection. So, and then sent it in for grading. So I would say if you were to say a percentage, I mean, gosh, man, it's hard to say because the value is, or like the PSA skewage of like percentages have been, or sorry, the percentage of PSA 10 to 9 has kind of skewed a lot greater because of the fact that more people were sending in 10s versus 9s because of the premiums. So I would say, conservatively speaking, I would say 30% would probably be not 10s, and then 70% would be 9s. I feel like that's conservative, though. I feel like you probably have a better 10 hit rate, but I could be wrong. I've had good experiences, but that's anecdotal. Topic of celebration, what would you say will do better from now? The Shining Magikarp or the Umbreon Gold Star? I have 2 of each of them. Probably Umbreon Gold Star. I think the Umbreon Gold Star will probably do better just because of the scarcity of it, but also as well because the value of, or not scarcity, because these are the reprint ones, that's fair. I would say probably the Umbreon Gold Star. I don't see why not. I mean, there's a reason why it's the more expensive one in Celebrations. Sorry, I didn't know if you were talking about the original or if you were talking about reprint. So, Umbreon versus Magikarp. I think the Umbreon will do better because it is an evolution. An evolution holds higher value than the Magikarp. I know, don't get me wrong, like Red Gyarados is iconic, but people just like evolutions so much more than anything. Evolutions are strong. It's going to be hard to compete with that. Can you give me a quick top 3 long-term investments besides Arceus V-Box? Well, I did make a top 5 video, and I did order them TT, so I would go watch that video and look at the ones that I picked. Oh my gosh. Vashishta Bila. Hi, just joined. Well, thank you for joining. Plavasaurus, another day. What have I missed? Oh god, we've been all over the place, but we started off really talking about how we think end of the year is going to be kind of a banger because character rares are all fully revealed for the Lost Origin set, and it's going to add its value. And then of course we now know that the Gengar alternate art with a Halloween stamp is going to be a part of the Halloween pack. So can I get a Steam Siege roll on the Discord? We don't even have a Steam Siege thing. I could potentially make it just for you if you really care that much. Why are some of the alternate arts dropping in price? Well, it depends. Which ones are you referencing? But I would say because as more booster boxes get open, then the supply increases. And if there is a greater demand than there is a supply, then prices go up. If there's a greater supply than there's demand, prices go down. GGS near mint quality has improved, but the shipping hasn't. Jesus Christ, I don't know how some of the singles I bought survived the trip. And that's why, Alonzo, it's nice to have buyer protection where you can always refund it in case that happens. Oh, I grabbed I grabbed a Celebration Shiny Magikarp 945 for $31. I think it'll do well long term. It's a tough card to pull. Yeah, no, for sure. Eli, are you sheep or a wolf? Wolf, no question. What is a good price for a Stormfront booster box? I know you like the DP era. $5,000. Easy answer. So good prices for DP era product. So I would say around $7,000 for Majestic Dawn, depending upon the print. Secret Wonders around the same price. Stormfront around $5,000 to $5,500. Supreme Victors around $5,500 as well. Platinum, I would say $3,800-ish, I would say. Same goes for Diamond and Pearl base. Mysterious Treasures, I would also say around. Well, here, you want to talk about a record-breaking sale? Look at this, guys. Mysterious Treasures booster box. And if this doesn't pop up, I have it saved so that we can take a look at it. But this recently sold for $3,600 basically. These booster boxes are, the price of these are, they're going to go down. So this, I mean, especially when you look at the wrapping on this one, the wrapping's not that bad. I mean, it's not in the best of condition, but the wrapping's not that terrible to where it would take that high of a hit on a premium of a box like this. So, you know, that's what I would kind of say. You're still seeing that the high demand ones of the like Diamond and Pearl era set are still performing well. They're still, of course, at higher price points. So it really just comes down to how much you're wanting to spend. So I would say price-wise, yeah, you know, Stormfront's that kind of middle-of-the-road box price. And you're getting good value out of it for what you're paying typically. So, because I know someone recently bought it for $5,500, so if you can get it for around that price or cheaper, then you're looking at a pretty good market price. But I think it'll probably go down long term. But I think everything's going to go down long term. So, wait, Altar Gengar will be in the Halloween pack? Yes, it will, good sir. Can't believe I jumped the gun and said the Lost Origin set looks to be as worse as Pokemon Go. Oh my goodness, bro. Talk about emotional statements, dude. Come on. Now that we've seen most of the sets, what do you think is a good entry point for Lost Origins booster box? $100 or cheaper. I think if you can get in at $100, that's a fine place. And if it drops down to $95.90, or if you can get it for $95.90, that's a great price point. So, because I think the demand for the set is going to actually pick up at some point. I could be wrong, but I do think it's a good set. Do you think ETBs are a good investment in the long term, like 15, 20 years? Yes, I think ETBs are, historically speaking, a really good long-term investment. How come MD is better than SF with the Charizard chase? Just wondering. Because the problem is you have to understand that the cards, when you talk about characters, although Charizard is king, evolutions hold an extremely high value. An extremely high value. So, and did you say SF? Did you mean SW, Secret Wonders? Maybe I'm wrong. Or SV, Supreme Victors, maybe? I don't know what you mean by SF. Secret Wonders, SF. Stormfront. Stormfront, yes. So the thing is with Stormfront, don't get me wrong. It has a Charizard. It's got some cool shinies, and it's got some good level X's. That's what gives it value, right? But when you talk about the holo slot, the holo slot is not nearly as strong as it is for Majestic Dawn. And that's the difference. Now, don't get me wrong as well. Printing's going to play a factor. Art design is going to play a factor. And the thing is about the Stormfront set that people really disliked is people were not a huge fan of the Charizard remake. People didn't really give a crap about it. And when people looked at a lot of the artworks for this set, they didn't really like it. They thought the artworks were kind of lame. Now, of course, nostalgically speaking, people look back at Stormfront and they say, well, it's got a lot to love there, and so it's done better now over time. But Stormfront, when it first came out, was very much a lackluster set people were not big fans of, which I think is crazy to think about when you look at it now, considering how much hate people gave the remake of the Charizard. You look at this set, you take the fact of the matter that, one, it has it's such a low pop because Majestic Dawn is very much a low pop compared to Stormfront. But two, you take the fact of the matter that you have two huge EVs as your main chase pulls. And then you also take the fact that you can get a Mewtwo holo, you can get a Glaceon, Leafeon holo, you can get any of the trios as a holo, and you can also get in the reverse holo slot any of the other EVs outside of Sylveon. And so for that reason, there's much more value that I feel like people get out of, because you can still hit a really nice reverse holo EV card. You have to think about it this way. Would you much rather have a set that has one Charizard evolution line, so 3 main Charizards, or would you much rather have a set that's going to have 9 different of the EVs that you can pull? Historically speaking, people tend to lean more towards the EVs. Now, don't get me wrong, there's certain instances where that will be completely different, but I think that's because there's more value that is added to it. For example, if we go back and look in the Black and White era, you've got Plasma Storm. Although it was a set that did have a shiny Charizard, it did well as outside of the shiny Charizard because it included both a Lugia and a Blastoise and an Articuno. The value of this set was incredible. People really love this set for that reason. It wasn't just carried by the Charizard. That's why it did better than Plasma Freeze. Because when you look at Plasma Freeze of a set, there's a reason why Plasma Freeze is one of the more expensive Black and White era packs. Because you say to yourself, oh, well, the golds are pretty lackluster. Why do people really care? Like, you know, Garbodor, Empoleon, Garchomp. Garchomp's a cool Pokemon, but the gold sucks. So, like, no one really cares. You know, Deoxys was great. Latios was great. But do you think those are strong enough to hold the value? No, it's because the Plasma cards were all of the evolutions. You had an Umbreon Plasma. You had a Leafeon Plasma. You had a Glaceon Plasma. You had an Espeon Plasma. You had a Flareon Jolteon. Evolutions add value. People like to open packs and get value outside of just the gold, outside of just the EXs. So typically speaking, when you look at Secret Wonders, that's another great example of why Secret Wonders has historically performed better than it has historically performed better than Stormfront as well. We go to Secret Wonders, you say to yourself, level X's are super underwhelming. The level X's are Gardevoir, Honchkrow, and then I think Lucario, if I'm correct. Or no, that's Mysterious Treasures. So it's Gardevoir and Honchkrow. Is that it? I think that's literally it. So you're saying underwhelming. But look at the holos. Charizard holo, Mew holo, Blastoise holo, Lugia holo, Ho-Oh holo. Holos in this set are stacked. So the thing is, the reason why Stormfront doesn't do as well is because the holo diversity is not as strong for Majestic Dawn as well as Secret Wonders. That's why, arguably speaking, those two are the best two sets in the in the Diamond and Pearl era. It really just comes down to what characters you like better and then what level X's you like better. This has a lot less diversity in level X's, unlike it has a lot less strength of level X value, unlike Majestic Dawn. However, it does have stronger value and diversity of holos. However, Majestic Dawn is not lacking in holo value, unlike when comparing it to some of the other sets. So Majestic Dawn, strong holo value, strong level X value. Secret Wonders, stronger holo value, but weak level X value. Does that make sense? So you have to look at it from outside of just level X. You have to look at it from the set as a whole. Hold up, the Gengar with the stamp set was revealed, was told it was fake. Well, it could still be fake, but this is just what we were discussing live on stream. Also, you think I should wait to pick up DP era booster boxes since prices might go down more like you said? I am a huge fan, Evo, at this point in the market to be very patient for a lot of those long-term pickups. I have absolutely no problem with that. So, because I do think that you're going to start to see more value pickup in regards to picking up booster boxes in honestly any of the older eras. Because, like I said before, we don't know what the floor is for a lot of these products. And so I wouldn't be surprised if they continue to drop as we are now officially deemed in a recessionary period. So, and like I said, we've seen a record low sale on Mysterious Treasures for the first time in a long time. So, yeah, I would definitely say if you want to play the game of picking up a Diamond or Pearl booster box, it's not a bad idea to be patient. But it also really comes down to what you're looking for. If you're looking for it as an investment perspective, then obviously being patient is better. If you're looking at it from a collectability perspective, I would still say it's better to be patient. I guess the question is, how long are you willing to wait? Are you willing to wait and try and, play the absolute bottom, or are you trying to get a good deal? There's like a difference between that, There is a difference. Do you like the look of the Hidden Fates Black Charizard or Shining Fates more? GX for sure. I think that it's hard, man. Let me take a look. I think the reason why, and I could be wrong about this, but I think the reason why I like it so much more is when you look at the Shining Fates versus the Hidden Fates. I like the way, and I like the posture of the Charizard. I like the way that it looks menacingly down on you. I think that's a really cool concept of art design. I think my problem that I have with the Shining Fates design, that I don't like it as much, although it is a cool design, I think the backdrop is really doing too much, personally. And I understand why they're doing it like this. It's trying to be the color contrast to the fact that this is a shiny VMAX Charizard, and so it's a lot brighter colors. But for me, I like the simplistic look of the just Hidden Fate shiny Charizard because it's very much a more white background, which really allows it to pop more at you. And I like that pop that Hidden Fates had with the value versus Shining Fates. It's got a little bit of kind of warmth color to the background, and it takes away from it, I feel like, personally. So it doesn't allow it to pop as much. But so we're down to the final countdown, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Got about 5 minutes left. Stormfront has a Charizard too, right? Yes, no, Stormfront definitely has a Charizard. Sorry, we just went through that, obviously. I'm late on stuff. What's up, Eli? Hope as well. All is manageable. A little stressful, but how are you doing, Modern Pokemon Investor? Hopefully all is well. Wait, Gengar VMAX is not in the Halloween set. Is it or is it not? Wisdom, what's up, buddy? It's been a while. Hopefully all is well with you. Do you think it's worth it to buy Celebration's Premier Collection Box? Are you talking about Premium Collection Box? No, I do not think it's worth it. I think it's overpriced. No problem, Evo. No problem at all. Of course, you can always get my insight on that. You can always get my insight on that. Are near mint cards usually centered right from TCG Player? I don't know. It's hard to say, John. It really just depends on, once again, what you're kind of getting with older stuff, because there's been instances where I've gotten level X cards that are near mint, and I'm like, whoa, this is like PSA 9 material. And then there's been times where I'm like, whoa, this is like PSA 6 material. So it really just comes down to who the seller is. I like to be very much on the side of, if you can buy direct, direct is definitely not the worst, especially because you're saving on shipping. Or if you don't like going the direct option because you, want to save some money, let's say if you're already going to get free shipping, then I would say go with a more reputable buyer that has like at least over, at least they have a like gold stamp. I forgot what the symbol is, but here, let's just take a look. Yeah, the like gold star seller. So I prefer gold star sellers. So that's kind of where I am. Do you collect any other cards outside of Pokemon? Yes, Flesh and Blood. I really like Flesh and Blood a lot. I've started to get into Flesh and Blood, the collecting aspect. Have not gotten into the card game yet. So, but that's just mainly because the only card game I really play right now is Hearthstone, and I don't really have time to play games to begin with much. The only time I ever play Hearthstone is when I'm on my laptop and I am also sorting cards at the same time because it's something I can play while also working. So kind of like if I'm sorting cards, I can just watch a movie in the background and then just sort cards, you know? If you only had enough money to buy one case of ETBs, do you think the specialty set would be the best option? Historically speaking, that's what time would tell you. So that's why I'm right now, Michael Wolf, I'm super high on Shining Fates ETBs. So, but also I'm a huge fan of Celebrations ETBs if you can get them for the right price. Last question, would you pick up Plasma Storm or Stormfront? I'm undecided between those two. Wow, that's a great question. I would say... Raheem, are you watching? I want your input on this one, Raheem. I hope you're lurking. Okay, well, if you said any DP box for that matter, that's easy. And because I'm going to say Majestic Dawn. You make it harder when you say Plasma Storm or Stormfront. Oh, investing wise? Oh, God. Well, then it comes down to really the best value, honestly, Evo. At that point, Evo, it comes down to the best value. Because let's say, for example, you know, you can pick up, let's say you pick up a Majestic booster box, right? A Majestic Dawn booster box in great condition, right? Let's say you pick it up perfect condition and you pick it up for like $5,500. That's an absolute steal. Or actually, you know what? Let me inverse this. Let's say that you can pick up a premium condition booster box of like Majestic Dawn. Let's say you can pick it up for like $7,000. You know, that's about right. That's about a decent price. Now, let's say that, of course, condition matters. If it's a worse condition, then I would say I'd want to go cheaper. But if it's a minty condition, then that's a different question. Now, let's say you can pick up a Mysterious Treasures booster box for $3,600, $3,800. That is a value to jump on because it was selling not that long. I mean, we can go and look historically, and I'm running over on time, so we're going to wrap up with this. But if we go to Heritage Auctions and we look at Diamond and Pearl booster boxes, it's going to make me sign in. Don't want to share my information. Okay, bring it back. So, as you can see, if we go to Diamond and Pearl booster box, hold on. Pass sold. View all 7 matches. All right, here we go. So, obviously, record high sale for the Majestic Dawn box, sold for $9,600. Secret Wonder sold for $8,700. Stormfront sold for $7,800. Supreme Victor sold for $55. Diamond and Pearl sold for $43.20, then $42, and then $49.20. So if you look at the record sale for Secret Wonders and how it's dropped over $1,000, that's where my ears start to perk up. Don't get me wrong, we were talking about market high sale, especially when we look at the condition of this one. Like the condition on this wrapping it's a good wrapping. You know, this is a good box. It's pretty crispy, and it sold for $9,600, right? Now, obviously, the value has dropped. So, depending upon the wrap and condition, it's valued at anywhere between $6,500 to $8,000 realistically. Secret Wonders, obviously, I would say it's probably priced around $1,000 less than the Majestic Dawn, and then Stormfront even $1,000 less below that, and so on and so forth. So for me, it has less to do with, you know, which do I think is going to do better, because I think they're all going to do well long term. I think it just comes down to which do you think you're going to be able to get at the best price. Because you told me right now, if I were to pick up, let's say, a Mysterious Treasures booster box for $3,800 versus a Majestic Dawn booster box for like $8,000. Mysterious Treasures all the way because you're getting such a great value. Versus if you're saying, you know, Majestic Dawn booster box, let's say for $6,000 and it's in this condition, there's nothing in this world that's going to make me not want to pick that up over anything else because the value is so great, unless I'm getting another booster box well under value for the market. So I know a guy right now who's selling this for around $4,000, and so for that reason, I think getting it below 4,000 is going to be such a greater deal. So, but yeah, I mean, take this, of course, all with a grain of salt. This was sold literally just this last March, and this was sold within about a year ago from a couple days back. So these sale prices have dropped. However, you know, still a pretty strong recent sale, to say the least. So, but it's definitely a harder question. It's definitely a harder question for me to ask, though, when you're comparing it between Stormfront versus Plasma Storm. I'm going to say whichever you can get a better deal on based off of the market value. So, but, all right, I got to answer these last questions that I'm out of here. What do you think is the best set to buy from right now? Is it including pull rates and price? It has, like I said, right now, it has to do with historically how well it's performed. For most of the older sets, they tend to perform pretty, like, I don't know. Oh, I want to answer that question super in depth, but I'm super late right now. So, because I do have an appointment after this, but I'll make sure to answer all you guys' questions on next Tuesday's live stream. I do apologize, but as far as it goes, guys, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We post pre-recorded content